Welcome to the Hoe-busters Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Zeri Michelle, and today we have an awesome guest joining us named Trish Lynn, who is a content marketing strategist who specializes in helping women who are overcoming trauma in toxic relationships, okay? So she is also a narcissistic abuse survivor just like me, and she is here to chop it up with us today and share some of her life experiences with us on today's bonus episode, all right? So we are going to discuss navigating through single motherhood, healing, and working to rebuild our lives because we know that life just be lifing for us all right? So I'm happy to have her joining us today, and I'm really looking forward to conversing with her and gaining some new insights that I believe will help those of you who need a little encouragement, some motivation, and some laughs throughout the way because I'm sure we're about to cut up a little bit, all right? So welcome, Trish.
Thank you so much, Rat. I'm so excited for this conversation. It's going to be so good. So many laughs.
I think it is. Oh, I can already feel it. I already feel it. So Trish, tell us a little bit about you, where you are, where you're from. Just give us a little bit of background.
So I am in Toronto-ish, Ontario, in Canada. It's
Nice.
freezing outside. And yeah, I was in a 16-year toxic relationship. I have been out for just over 2 years now. I have 3 beautiful kids, and I am officially thriving.
I know that's right. You know, I think the beautiful thing with all the women I'm connecting with through the podcast is after coming out of those situations, so many of us are just doing so freaking good. We're looking good, just glowing, looking beautiful, just taking care of ourselves, finally able to take care of our kids the way we should, right? Being able to be more present, just working on some of the goals and things in life that I'm sure you probably put off for a while, just never really got the time, the energy to get to. And now it's like, the world's your oyster, right? You can just do it all.
Well, I was never allowed to, right? Like all of these things, even my business was considered a hobby. So now it's like, I get to do these things and we get to put ourselves first. We get to actually focus on the things that we need to focus on so that we can succeed, so that we can do the things we want to do, you know, be the mothers that we want to be for our kids. I noticed that I have the best relationship with my kids now.
Yep. I feel the same way. You know, it was a few months ago that my daughter's 13 and my son is 8. My daughter was like, you know, Mom, how come we didn't do this stuff before with Dad? How come we couldn't go traveling and take these weekend trips? We didn't do date nights like this. We didn't do movie nights. We didn't do paint nights and art. How come, you know, now it's like you're the cool mom? And when I tell you, girl, that brought me to tears. I was just so touched, like, oh my God. Like, because you don't realize how much they're being deprived of when you're in this fucked up situation and you're dealing with all the stress and the drama all the time. So I think this is a beautiful part of divorce that no one really talks about, but that's why I kind of want to change some of the stigma behind it by having these spaces for us to talk about these situations and these experiences, because there's so many people out here who we don't realize are watching, who we don't realize is helping someone to get out of a situation that they know is just not good for them, right?
Kids get to thrive. They get to see mom happy and mom doing things. You know, again, my business was a hobby and now it's supporting me. My kids get to see that. They get to see what I'm actually capable of without that negative talk behind it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So tell me how you met your ex-husband.
Through mutual friends. I can actually still remember it, so it's really bad. And I was 16. Well, it's going to be longer now, like 18 years ago now. I mean, I should have seen the red flags from the beginning, but I was young. I think I was just 16. So I didn't see any red flags. Like, it was, oh, yeah, he's fucking hot. And he's got, like, I had a thing for trucks, and I fell for it, okay?
How soon into your situation did you start to really see the red flags and think, oh shit, like what am I dealing with here?
He would break up with me on weekends.
Oh, Lord have mercy. And was that happening immediately into starting
I don't think
to
it
talk
was
to him
immediately into it. We did break up for about 6 months and then started talking again. And it just, I mean, it's all a blur, but the fucking red flags were there from the beginning. Like
Yeah.
I been now that I look back, I'm like, what the fuck was I even thinking? Even like right down to the night of my wedding, I was ready to the wedding.
Oh
I
my God. Me
wasn't
too.
sure if I was making a mistake, and I said that to my mom, and I went through with it because she had forked out so much money for this wedding.
Oh my
And
God. I went through the almost exact situation. My parents, I mean, the wedding was close to $50,000. It was almost 200 guests. His mother planned like so much. I was so detached from the plans. That's when I knew I shouldn't be doing. I didn't give a fuck about the plans, right? His mother was so excited. It's like, and she's all this decorating and like event planning and stuff. I'm like, do whatever. Just let me know when to show up. I got my dress offline for like $100. I didn't give a fuck. My reception dress came from Fashion Nova. It cost $50. We didn't even like buy rings. Girl, it wasn't until after I left when I went to pawn my engagement ring that I wore the entire time, got $50. Ring was fake. So
oh
when that's
my
like, it was
god,
just so much shit. Like, oh my goodness. And I remember the night before when we were at the reception, my best friend, she could just see it on my face. And she's like, you need to talk to your mom. And I was just so scared. And I'm like, all these family members and friends spent so much money to come down here in flights and hotels. I can't let them down? And so I just didn't have it. But you actually talked to your mom about it.
yeah, she remembers that, and I went through with it. I remember my wedding day. I got ready at my grandparents' farm. It was just down the road from where we were having the ceremony. And
Mm-hmm.
my grandfather helped me get into his truck and comes out with a cup, probably about the same size as the one I have here, half full
Okay.
of like scotch or something.
I needed some liquor that day, but it was a weird day for me. Like, I think from the start of the day, just it was so many things happening. Like I was breaking nails, and it was just like, this is not how the fuck I envisioned this, right? Our cake was a disaster. The lady who made our cake completely bombed. People thought my 6-year-old made our cake. Like, oh, did Deanna make this? And I'm
My
like, no.
grandmother made my cake, and I love my grandma so much. The cake was disgusting.
Our
Like,
food was raw.
me, it was a great night. Like, I loved the night. I enjoyed the night, and I was hopeful. I'm like, okay, you think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe how I'm feeling is wrong, and it's just like the jitters and whatnot. Uh,
Yep.
because that night, our reception was close to where we lived. My
Okay.
ex and I were the only two that actually walked home from our wedding.
Oh my goodness.
He carried a big gift. It turns out it was a mirror, so thank God he didn't drop it because it was all wrapped
Right.
still. And I walked
Oh
home with
my
bottles of
goodness.
wine under in each of my arms.
That is so funny.
You never know what you're going to experience and what you're going to go through
No.
until you go through it. And I can look at these moments, and there was so many good moments mixed in with all of the bad moments that I'm
Okay.
grateful for the experience because without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have my kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree.
There
I do try to take that out of it too. I still carry some regrets from it. Just making that or going through with something that was so serious, not having really thought it through. We didn't do like any premarital counseling. Did you guys do all that?
Nope.
No, me neither. Like my uncle was the officiant. My dad's oldest brother's a pastor, so he flew out from Pennsylvania. He didn't, he's like, this is my niece. Let's go ahead and do this. I got to go back and do a funeral tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, let's knock this out. But I wish we had taken the steps to sit with the counselor, do the premarital counseling, because we would have realized there are so many unresolved issues. Because we had dated for like, I was only married for 5 years, but we had been together a total of 19. So there was so many years that we've had these same issues. And it
Yeah.
was funny, like I was reading something not too long ago, and it talks about how, when you're in your relationship, it feels like you have like 1,000 arguments. And it's like, no, you have the same 3 arguments 1,000 fucking times a piece. And it's like we kept having the same fucking arguments, the same issues with cheating, the same issues with the lying, the same issues with mismanaging money, the same issues with me feeling like I'm carrying the bulk of everything.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish I had taken the time, like listen to a couple of my friends and my parents when they were trying to say, hey, you guys, you sure you don't want to do this? And I'm like, oh, we're good, you guys. We've been together all this time. We already know what the fuck we're getting into. But it was like, it was something so different about making that move, walking down that aisle, getting that paper. And then I find out 2 weeks later, the son of a bitch cheated on me. So it was like, what the fuck was the point of this? Like, clearly you didn't want to do this shit. Why did you do it?
Why did you do it? Why wouldn't you say something? Yeah, that's no, we didn't do any of that. Well, we were together in 2006. We got married in 2011.
Okay.
And my oldest was 2 at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
it was, the right thing to do.
I guess, what was the straw that broke the camel's back for you? Like, what was the deciding factor that, I can't do this anymore. I've got to get out of this shit. I'm done.
So this is a good one. I will kind of preface this with a warning for anyone who's listening. We had a fight one night. He was drinking. Things were already bad. We had been fighting off and on all day. We were laying in bed. Like, I knew this fight was coming. He warned me at dinner that we were talking later, with that, right? So we're laying in bed and he's basically going on, everyone hates me. I'm the problem. This and that. The sooner my oldest son hates me, the better. Do him and the kids a favor and kill myself.
Oh my God.
And
wow.
That moment, it was just like the light switch. It went off and I was done. I was at that point, I had already physically checked out. Like, this had been going on for so many years. Physically, I was checked out. I didn't want to be there. Mentally, I was half in and out. Emotionally, I was there because we've got 3 kids together. Right. And at that point, emotionally, I was done and that was it. There was no coming back from that.
Absolutely not. It's so scary to see how evil they can become.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because, they say it happens so insidiously. It's like you look up and you're like, who the fuck are you? What the hell happened here? How did we get here?
And your wife, and that's what you are saying to me? Like, that's not acceptable. And, you try to, can we work on things? Go to counseling. I'm like, how would you feel if someone talked to your daughter that way?
Right. Do you know, have you ever asked that question?
I've said it a few times.
Yeah? What was his response?
Nothing.
What's crazy is I asked my ex that question one time, like towards the very end, like, what if your daughter went and met someone like you and came crying to us like, oh my God, he's doing this, he's doing that. He's like, it would have been God's will. And that's just something that she'd have to experience.
That's disgusting.
There's just, what the hell could I do about it? She'd have to go through it and make her own decisions as to what she's going to do going forward in her life. And I remember looking at him like, are you fucking serious? You actually believe this shit? You think this would be okay? You'd be okay with your daughter going through this because it would be God's will?
Not a chance. I'm gonna be that mom. You don't mess with my daughter. But I'm the same. I know, that's right. We actually just had an incident right before Christmas with my oldest son and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's parents, and her mom sent a text message to my ex and I in a group chat about things, my son's behavior. Now, the parents were trying to break the kids up anyways, but she was going on like her daughter is scared of him and this and that. And I was like, I'm reading the message and I looked up at my son and I'm like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to message my ex. He's messaging me because we were on the same page. Like, this message is not acceptable. He came here that night to sit down and talk with my son. Not acceptable. So I think in a way he recognized that behavior wasn't acceptable and what we were being told wasn't acceptable. The first thing I thought is, you're turning into your fucking father. But right? So I snapped. Recognizes that, hey, this behavior is not acceptable, but he doesn't fucking recognize that, hey, this is how I was treating your mom and it's not acceptable. Like, he couldn't put it together, right? Like, I read this and I'm like, you are not going to turn out like your dad. I'm sorry. No.
Right. And it's so crazy because I feel like that's my mission too. Because you have a little girl, right?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. How old is she?
She's 8.
Okay. So yeah. So our youngest ones are about the same. And I just feel like I'm making it my mission to teach him, like, be a little gentleman, be kind, be like, he got a report from school the other day. He comes home. He's like, Mom, my teacher put me on lunch detention. And I'm like, for what? He's like, I was just talking a little bit and, I was asking for some extra help and she acted like she didn't want to help me. I said, no, that doesn't sound right. So I sent a message to the teacher and she's like, he was picking on a little girl and made her cry. And I'm like, absolutely not. You better not ever do that again. You don't treat girls like that. You're kind. You cannot be like this. And it's the fear of, please don't turn out to be like your daddy. please, I just want to do everything I can and make sure he's around like positive male role models, and my dad, who I think is just an outstanding guy, and like, please just turn out to be the opposite of this, because one day you're going to get old enough where you're going to understand and learn and hear about what was really going on. And you're either going to say, you know what, I don't want to treat anyone like my dad treated my mom because I saw her at her worst. We remember those times. We remember walking in, him patting me on my back, trying to console me when I'm crying. Don't put a woman through that. You don't want to be that guy. And I feel like it's our responsibility almost as moms, because it's something different with the boys, right? I feel like, I want to make sure I first draw the line that you're not my man, because there's too many women who are like, this is my son. No, he's not the man of the house. He's my son. I'm going to be taking care of this house. I'm going to provide. I'm going to protect. I just need you to grow up and be an outstanding person so you can go off and have a successful relationship and family and do what the hell you need to do out here. But yeah, I'd be so worried about, especially because their dad was such a compulsive and habitual liar. So any little thing, I am calling it out, because my ex's family just kind of had a thing of, oh, he just likes to tell little white lies. Little white lies turn into big fucking lies. And if you don't check him as kids, he's going to grow up thinking, this is okay. Hey, no one's ever checked me on it. No one's called me out on my shit. So I'm just going to continue doing it. And the lies just get worse and worse and fucking worse. I mean, some of the things my ex's friends have shared with me after we left, or after we separated, and they're like, what? When we were in high school, he used to do that. And I'm thinking, why the fuck were y'all friends? Right? And it was kind of, we felt bad for him. He didn't really have a lot of friends. We've known each other for so freaking long, since middle school and elementary school. We just it's like, how do you cut off those friendships? Easy. Say we're not fucking a good fit. Bye. Yeah. We can cut off friends quick as hell. Like, fuck you, bitch. Bye.
See you later.
Stop. I couldn't believe. I mean, they were like, yeah, he would lie and say his siblings were dating NFL and NBA players. And I mean, just goofy lies that you can clearly find out, right? Like, you can Google this shit. Why are you doing this? But I refuse for my kids to grow up this way. So I'm really big on like having morals, high integrity. I say, tell the truth, even if it hurts you in your gut. I don't care if you get the butterflies in your stomach, if you got to cry and you're shaking, tell the fucking truth. Because nobody wants to deal with a liar.
Why the fuck do their parents support their bullshit? I was just thinking the whole summer before I left. So my ex used to drink. I don't know if he still does. He does. But he a lot. And like the whole summer before, my ex-mother-in-law, is that what I would call her now, I guess?
I think so. Yeah. We call them the outlaws now.
We'll go with that. She would, comment all the time about how much he drinks, or I don't know how you live with him. I don't know how you put up with him. I don't know how you deal with him. There's something going on with my son. She's like, you should just go against him and do it anyways. And then when I actually leave, it's, well, can't you guys try and make things work? Like, you just spent a whole summer talking shit about him. And now I've made the decision to stick up for myself after what he said to me. Mm-hmm. And you want me to try and make things work so your son is happy? Like, no.
Weird, because she don't want to have to deal with his shit, because that's who he's got to go to now until the next woman comes and fills that spot, right?
She's already there and filled it, living with them.
Oh, they move fast, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap. I know mine was
about 6 months ago. We hadn't even been separated for 2 years, and she was living with them.
Wow, that's something now. I mean, geez. I know mine was he was dating. Well, I mean, he was dating the whole marriage and relationship. Yeah. So I guess he never really took a break, but it was just like, then he had the freedom to go. And now, because my ex used to do this thing. He used to fantasize about being single in front of me. And so like, I have a brother who's like 2 years younger than me. And my little brother, he doesn't have kids or anything. And he was dating some girls and stuff like through COVID and whatnot. And then, kind of broke up, whatever. And my ex used to have this thing like, oh my God, your brother's such a goofball. If I was 36 and I had my own place and I was single with no fucking kids, I'd be out here fucking something every night. I'd be out here every night of the week. I'd have a new bitch. Your brother's a goofball. He doesn't realize how much pussy's out here. Like, he was in my face. I'm like, man, you're sure thinking this through, huh? Like, boy, I just kind of feel like
it anyways.
I mean, so I was like, oh my God, he's going to lose his mind when he's out here a single man. And I can only imagine he's got them 6, 7 bitches throughout the week and playing all these games. And I know there's some raggedy hoes because you're broke. So you can't
Yeah.
possibly find women of quality who you're like taking out, because women who actually have standards are going to require more than like a blunt and a
Yeah.
beer and sitting in Netflix and then chilling every fucking night, right? As he started doing the fantasizing, I would too. And so I don't know if you heard of the Kendra G show on like Facebook. So
No,
she's this girl who I'm from Connecticut, and so she started on like
I
Connecticut's.
think I have. I think I have.
Okay. And so she started like over COVID, she would have people calling in like this, and they'll kind of give their pitch. I'm 38, I got 2 kids, I'm divorced, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for a man like this. But her show blew the fuck up. And now she's got a dating app. She's making a freaking killing doing this. She just moved out to like LA. And I remember I would watch that show like, oh my goodness, like, what a handsome guy. I wish I could reach out to him. And I just started having my own fantasies like, what would it be like if I was single? Because I never had the chance to date. I mean, and you were young when you met your ex too. So did you ever really have that opportunity to like date around, really test the waters prior
No,
to meeting him? Exactly, right? So what was it like for you when you finally were like, fuck this, I'm free, I'm out here, I'm in these streets? What happened?
I went into complete solitude.
Really? Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for
I
you.
had so much healing to do. The first
Mhm.
6 months, he was still messaging me to come around at like night and stuff after work. He wanted to talk, or if the weather was bad, he wanted to stay at my house because I was closer to his work. Like, I
Okay.
strategically moved 40 minutes away from where he lived. His
Okay.
marital home. So I strategically moved 40 minutes away, but I was within 10 minutes from his work so that
Okay.
with the kids and exchanging the kids, it's not like it was out of the way. I was still, oh, you still have to come this way anyways. Had a friend who was going through it at the same time, so him and I got really close,
Okay.
and we're able to lean on each other, which is really
Mm-hmm.
good. So, and
Yeah.
he became my best friend. Like,
Aw.
we were in so much in common, which was really nice. But now I'm back out into the dating world, and let me tell you, I was
Even up in Canada, it's fucked up too, just like it is down here.
yeah. Oh my God. If the one Drew Barrymore clip that keeps going around where they say, they've got to just call it what's left. It's so fucking true because it's like, they're like, what the fuck? And I've started screenshotting and just literally make a joke out of some of these guys that have messaged me in the oh my God, the pickup lines. I am fucking dying laughing. I shared them with everyone because I think it's so funny. Like,
They are. It's hilarious. And I'm sure just being online, like you're getting all the DMs and just the random people just wanting to be in your energy and, oh, let me take you out. You're so beautiful. You're so gorgeous. Oh, leave me alone. Now,
right.
I definitely had a different experience when I was first fresh out in the streets. I was a serial dater for, I'm going to say, maybe that first year. So I left him about September of 2023. And I say it wasn't until maybe like September, October of last year that I was like, okay, I've had fun. Now I need to go into my space of solitude. So now in the last like 4 or 5 months, I've been celibate, and I'm just like, oh, this feels good and this feels peaceful. And I just don't want to be bothered. I mean, I had a ton of fun that year, okay? And I had to get it all up my system. And I went on so many dates with people I can't even remember their names half the time. And it was just so many funny experiences. I'm like, I got to start doing some dating stories because I've got some stories, okay? But I think it's so important to take that time. I kind of wish I did that initially, but I feel like the streets were calling me for a minute. So I went out. Like I said, I met some really great guys, but it was kind of like it's like I was never finding anyone in the middle. It was like guys here who, you're amazing, I want to marry you, and guys here like, oh, you look great, I just want to fuck. And it's like,
There's no in the middle. I had a girlfriend who did the same thing, except she went both ways. She went guys and girls. Like, she literally went exploring. I'm like, good, that's not gonna be me. My nervous system at that point was so dysregulated, and I would
okay,
have like severe anxiety that led to panic attacks that I needed solitude to be able to just even heal that little bit. Like, I slept and I'd slept and I'd slept.
Mhm.
I was in such a state of fight or flight. And I knew that coming out of the relationship. I had actually seen a therapist the Christmas before I left. A week before the Christmas before I left, he had kicked me out of the house. The whole week before, the whole week before Christmas. And it was Christmas that I went back. And he apologized. We're going to go to counseling, blah, 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 blah. We did. It was the therapist. We saw her separately.
Okay.
We got to seeing her together. We saw her separately. And she said, your nervous system is in survival. Like, you have. She didn't say your ex is a narcissist because she was also seeing him. But now, when I left, my son started going to see her.
Okay.
And she said, you look so much fucking happier.
Isn't that the best feeling? When people can like physically see it on you? Oh, man.
She knew what I was in, but she couldn't say what I was in.
Yeah.
But she could give me the little pieces, which I already knew all the little pieces, right? It was just confirming everything for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then when I saw her, she's like, you look so much better, like so much happier. You knew what you were in. Like, there wasn't even a doubt of why I left. She knew why I left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's so important, and good for you for being able to go and seek out some help. I think so many people, it's a scary thing because you know that therapist is going to hold that mirror up to you and show you exactly the shit you see, but you just don't want to look back and admit, okay, this is what the fuck it is, right? And so I remember my therapist.
You've got to have someone that will call you out on your shit, because if you don't, like, you can see it. But once someone acknowledges it for you, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, you have to.
It is. And it's just, I feel like it's something different about like not being a sister or a friend or like your mom, but it's something about that therapist. I actually started working with a male therapist because I was like, I just want somebody who's not going to come in here being my friend. Tell me the raw, nasty truth of this. He was like, you're so hurt. I mean, every call I'm crying. And he's like, how do you heal when you're laying next to the person that's cutting you every day? And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, it's literally never, in his own ways, it's never going to get better because he's not trying to get any better. I remember we did 3 therapy sessions, and after each session, we would fight and he wouldn't talk to me for almost a week. So it was like, if this is what the fuck I can expect, I don't want to do this anymore. No, because we have shit to do.
Right? Oh, you're go get help for yourself. Well, I'm going to fucking punish you so that you subconsciously don't want to go back.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
You know that there's a fight coming as soon as you go to the therapist.
Yes.
It's
Listen, mine was straight out just calling me weak. Like, you know what? You're weak. If you have to go and seek help from someone who doesn't even know you, you're weak. You're supposed to be strong. You know how many bitches are out here with 7, 8 kids? No man. You've got a man in the house and you're not even doing what the fuck you got to do. And you're crying over 2 kids. And I was just like, what an asshole. And so it just...
You say something about it and you're sensitive. Stop being sensitive.
You're dramatic as fuck.
You're dramatic. I'm sorry, what? I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, so I was usually dependent on him, right?
Yeah.
Like, every time I had a problem, it was thrown in my face. Or if he made fun of me, I was sensitive. I'm like, no, you're being a fucking asshole. Like, I don't deserve to be talked to like that. Joking or not, it's not a joke. Like, you're an asshole.
Period.
We don't deserve any of that.
No, we don't. And I can't speak for you, but I know for me, my self-esteem was so fucking low. I had no confidence. I felt just so like, who's going to want me? We had the Kevin Samuels out here telling men that they're the prize. And if your woman is 35 and she's plus size and she's got multiple kids, she's all used up and washed up. Nobody's going to want her. And I just started believing all this shit. And it was just like, hold up. I'm the one here with most of the skills. I'm the one making the money. I'm the one holding it down. I'm the one taking care of these kids. While you get to go do your bullshit ass jobs, come home, strolling social media looking for hoes, lying, being mean all fucking day, you know? And it got to a point where my ex started saying this thing, like he became really rageful. Like, I'll give you a short story. My parents bought us a house. It was like, but it wasn't the house he wanted. So he resented my parents. He was so evil. Tried to fight my 60-plus-year-old daddy because they bought this house that wasn't the one he wanted. So you're talking about entitled? Okay. And it was just so I could avoid the hour commute that I used to have to drive every day to bring my kids to school. It was just a mess, okay? That year living in that house, I knew moving in, when they handed me the keys, I said, this house is going to be the death of us. Because y'all don't understand, this man hasn't even slept in days when he knew that y'all weren't getting the other house. He has been so angry. The man didn't help me unpack a single box. I had to unpack the entire house alone. It just was so awful. It was one of the worst experiences. But by the end of that 1 year, he would like ruminate on it every day. We'd be in the garage and he'd just be in there yelling, "You're fucking stupid ass, drunk ass mama, daddy, blah, these bitches. Can't believe they fucking did this." I mean, it was so on the other side of the door, my kids,
like,
he never wanted to fix his credit so we can be in position to like and stop smoking weed so we can save this money and buy our own house. I mean, so fucking entitled. I didn't realize my kids were, he's like, you're thinking we're in the garage. They're busy. They every night they would hear us in the garage, daddy yelling to the top of his lungs, throwing shit at the walls. So in their minds, they thought he was yelling at me. And at times he was, but mostly he was just yelling out of anger. He'd say this, "Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings," to me and my kids. F our feelings. This was like leading up to like a series of things where I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. My daddy has never in my life said something so mean and so nasty with the rage and the veins busting out of his neck and forehead. This is so unhealthy for these kids to sit here and witness this kind of thing. But I thank God, like I said, in those moments that I was able to find the strength through my counselor, through my friends, and actually even through his mother. His mother, actually, I for years was like, I'm not ever going to his mom. I don't, it was like, keep people out of our business, right? You don't tell anyone what the fuck's going on in our four walls. And one day I just was so fed up. She actually was in town. So I went all out. We're cooking, I'm cleaning, we're doing all this fun activities and painting with the girls. And the mom was like, "There's something going on, isn't there?" And I remember talking to this woman till almost 5 a.m. I just poured my heart out. Like, we talked maybe 4 straight hours that early morning. And it was like, oh my God. And I think for me, that's when the light switch went on and it was a wrap. It was nothing more I needed to see. I hadn't even talked to my own parents about what was going on.
You what just need validation, right?
And to come from his mom was like, wow. I think you already kind of hit on this a little bit, but you said that his family kind of at first seemed to support it and then kind of switched up on it. How are they now that you guys are divorced and kind of over it? Are they still in that same space or?
No, they're great now.
Okay.
This past summer, I guess kind of just before summer, his mom and I were able to talk actually at my son's track and field day.
Okay.
And she was happy about it. So we kind of broke the ice there because we had ball hockey prior to that track and field day. And it was, they all sat on one side of the arena and I sat on the other. And like, this is fucking retarded. Like his girlfriend, my son would go back and forth between both of us. I'm like, this is so stupid. We broke the ice. Everything's good. Now we all sit together at any of the sporting events. Like, why not? We don't need to. This was my choice. Because my mom always says, "You're so strong. I don't know how you do it." I'm like, this was my choice. It was my choice to leave. It was my choice to move on with my life and stop putting up with that shit. Why am I going to hold any resentment, any grudges? Like, his dad saw what was going on. The Christmas that I was kicked out the week before, his dad said it was abuse. So his dad saw it. His dad knew it. His dad stuck up for me and like would call it out in the moment. But he saw it, and in like that week before, he did say it. He never once said it to his son, but it is what it is. Like, I am so much happier now, and we all sit and have these conversations. Last night, we all stood outside after the hockey game, my son's hockey game, all talking, waiting in the foyer. Like, it's a good thing now.
That's good. Yeah. I love hearing those situations and how you guys can co-parent and be civil and be able to communicate.
My ex has no fucking clue what I do for work. He doesn't know that I do any of this. We are friends on any social media, and I've blocked him across everything else because it's none of his business.
Yeah.
And we have a better relationship now than we did when we were together. Now, none of that is because he has the new girlfriend. Like, he's got a new guy, he's good. Like, and he's already starting to treat her the way he treated me. My kids tell me everything. I picked him up last week, and within like 5 minutes, my oldest is like telling me what happened on the weekend. And then I bring him home, and I go pick up my other two from their school because my oldest is in high school. My other two are still in elementary school.
Okay.
And within 5 minutes, they're both telling me what happened. And I know it goes the other way too. Like, I know if something happens here, they go there and they will tell him right away. I just kind of laugh. I'm laughing now, seeing the same patterns repeating. I'm like, this isn't fucking good. Like, I left so my kids didn't have to see this.
Yeah.
Starting again. But him and I, as far as things go, but it's a different relationship now because if he starts to piss me off, it's up fucking bye-bye. Like, I'm not replying to you and I'm not going to reply to you.
So do you guys have like a weekend visitation schedule? Is it what kind of arrangement do you guys have?
Every other week, Monday to Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. I wish.
It's Monday to Monday, every other week. So I've moved now. When I first left, I had to move 40 minutes away, put that distance. Like, it was needed, right? It was needed for my healing. It was needed for him to move the fuck on. Because really, that's what has to happen with a narcissist before you can move on with your life. If they are still so much in your face all of the time, one, you can't heal because your nervous system doesn't have that time to come back into a regulated, to even know what a regulated state is. I don't have him blocked. I have him muted. So when he messages me, I don't know that he's messaged me. And it's the best fucking thing ever. You need that to heal. Now I've moved back closer. We're within 10 minutes of each other.
Okay.
We're able to go back to, our schedule was messed up before I moved. Both of my boys lived with him full time because they wanted to stay in school out here. My daughter lived with me full time. Every other weekend, the kids were every weekend the kids were together and would go back and forth every other weekend. Now we've got it back to Monday, and my son's in school here where I am. My other two are in school the 10 minutes away where he is, because this is where the high school is. So like last night he stayed because he wanted to go to his girlfriend. So it's just we're able to do these things now.
That's incredible.
Do before, like my son works right down the road from his house.
Okay.
So some of the nights that my son works, I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense for you to come back here to go back to sleep. Like, just go to your dad's and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's been
That's
great.
really good.
To this point, I know it doesn't happen for everyone. And I can 100% say if he didn't have that girlfriend, my life would still be fucking miserable because he'd be putting it all on me. Like, I know it and I acknowledge it. So I feel bad for her because I know what she's going through. But at the same time, thank you, because now it's not on me.
Wow, it relieves a whole lot of pressure and stress from you. Absolutely. Oh my God. I think that would be so amazing. Like, we're only on a every other weekend schedule. And I'm like, that's so not enough. That's really not enough for the kids. And so even now my son's starting to feel it a little bit more. He's like, I miss my dad. I'm always missing my dad. And we got to wait till next weekend to see him. And oh man, and he's so used to everyone putting in the work for him. That now that he's got to put in a little work, oh my God. And then they don't think to call him until it's like bedtime. And I'm like, y'all do this every night because y'all just want to stay up late. And it's like, well, no, daddy gets triggered when he hears you in the background. So we just want to call him after you put us to bed and we know you won't be around. And then he doesn't have to worry about hearing you. It's like the biggest fucking baby, big ass baby, just always the bare ass minimum. But I'm like, oh, sometimes I wish we could do the split custody because he doesn't have a clue how much goes into the day to day. I literally was telling my kids, like, next week sometime I'm going to do like a day in the life of a single mom. Like, I'm going to literally set up the camera and the tripod. What's it like dragging these kids out of fucking bed, doing hair, fixing lunches, getting their asses off to school, coming home, doing my full-time fucking job, getting this laundry moving, getting their asses from school and after school activities and tutoring and taking them to basketball practices and coming home and sitting doing homework. And just do a time-lapse video because so many men, and so many of my followers are men, and because I think they see Hoe-busters, they think I'm busting hoes, whatever.
Something else.
So it's kind of like,
but this is great for them, men. This is what the fuck we go through. So when you start dating a single mom, know what you're fucking getting into, and if we give you our time, you get to see how valuable that fucking time is. That's like such a thing. It is. When I have my kids, it is nonstop. I gotta get up. It's literally nonstop. My oldest wants to be at school for 7:45, so we leave here at 7:45. His bus route, because of the subdivision I'm in, we are in walking distance, which is fucking bullshit. It's over 3 kilometers away. They're like, well, you're not on the map yet. I'm like, Okay, well, so I gotta drive him for 7:45, come back here, make lunches for the other two, drive the other two to their school, come back. Then my dog in between, my dog's diabetic too, so I'm trying to fucking go. I get to make my own schedule. My work day when I have them is from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
Because by the time I get home and get everyone taken care of, it's 10 o'clock. And I gotta still get fucking showered and ready at some point in that time. And then I get to pick up my oldest just after 2 from school. I'm like, well, there goes the day. Like, and I'm in the car waiting to pick him up, and he's got to dawdle and fucking chat and this and that after school. I'm like, kids, some of us have fucking shit to do. Like, let's go. You don't need to talk to your friends. You are just with them all day at school. But I'm be creating content while I'm sitting there. So I'm like, I've got to keep getting this stuff done. And then hockey is like every single night. It's ridiculous. Like right now, I'm thankful I only have one in sports.
Okay.
So I thank God they're alternating because my oldest missed soccer. My oldest plays soccer. My middle child plays hockey. My daughter, thank God there's no gymnastics around right now. The gymnastics are so close. And I'm like, we can't be everywhere. I can't be everywhere doing everything.
Right. It's really, really difficult. And I kind of had a moment, I think, like probably the fall time of last year, and it just kind of sunk in and hit me like, this single mom shit, this ain't for the weak. And I thank God, you know, like I said, I'm living home with my family. I thank God I have help, you know, because even I'm thinking, and I'm trying to prepare myself more and more by taking on more and like not asking them for too much help, because it's like when I move out, it's going to be 100% on me. You know, and then just so I look forward to my every other weekend so much, and my kids are like, you're just like kicking us out the door. You're like, you're damn right, because I need my break. And I just want to see
my kids. I love them, but the week I don't have them, I get to sleep in. I don't have to be up. Like I get to do those things, right? And I don't. So now that I've moved, it does suck because I don't have the help. My mom was closer to where I was living before, so I have felt that a bit. Now, if I do need her, she'll come out here on weekends. Help out. But I haven't gotten to that point yet where I will ask. So before I split with my ex, we moved out this way. Okay. 2 months. His parents also followed and moved out this way. So I haven't gotten to the point yet where I will ask them for help on my weeks. Yeah. But next week, we have a hockey tournament on Friday. Well, one child is in the tournament. The other one wants to go to school. The other one can walk. Like, I'm 3 kilometers. He can fucking walk it if he wanted to. Or he can walk to the arena where the tournament is because it just so happens to be on the way here. But I'm like, my daughter wants to go to school because I've got to have the kid at the arena. I can't be at the school. Like, it's like, well, I can ask my mom. I'm like, okay, I'm not there yet. But if you want to ask your mom to pick up Emma on my week, please, because I could use that. And my mom's like, well, I'll come out and help you. I'm like, you're going to drive an hour to go pick her up from school? Like, that seems a bit much. Yeah. I can understand. It's figuring out those little pieces as you go. I do miss that support, but at the same time, moving out here, I've been able to see my kids a lot, like my boys a lot more, and go to all of their sports. In this summer, I put 5,000 kilometers on my car in the summer, just within like those 2 months of them being off of school, just driving for sports. So it made.
I can imagine. I absolutely understand. Like right now, both of my kids are in basketball and they're playing at different facilities. So my daughter, I have to drive about 45 minutes out. And then my son, he's about 30 minutes to his practice spot. But it's like all this extra time, like, and then I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, so the traffic here is just hell. It's hell. Some nights it's taking me an hour just to get her to practice. And I'm sitting there with my laptop editing videos in the bleachers. And so like you said, it's like you got to squeeze in, you know, your little to-dos and any moment you can get it. And I'm so good for like staying up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning when it's quiet and I can edit it and I don't have to have people coming in and out or, you know, the kids listening to this adult content. And so then I'm up at 7 getting them to school. And so then sometimes with my work, thank God it's flexible. I work in IT. And so sometimes it's slow in the afternoons. I'm like, yes, let me close my eyes and I just can get a little sleep before they get home from school. And so it's just, like you said, it's constant and it's nonstop. I've just been enjoying this time these last couple months. I don't have so many distractions. I'm able to do a little bit more with them and with their school, getting them with tutors and all this stuff. There is just so much that goes into this. And so it's funny to me when I dropped the video about paying child support and I had men coming at me in my DMs like, you women are gold diggers. You just want a fucking payout because you have kids. And you guys sound like some bitches.
No.
I don't know how valuable our time is. Like, this is a full-time job and I don't get paid a dime for this shit, okay? I hope sometimes.
My ex, when we first split, he's like, you want to be so fucking independent? Then you shouldn't pay child support. I'm like, bitch, I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 fucking years. You're lucky that's all I'm thinking. Like, what I'm entitled to is 3/4 of the fucking paycheck if you really want to go there. I didn't child support. I didn't touch his pension. I'm like, pay me child support. That's all I'm asking. And I will not touch anything else because you get back up on my feet. As soon as I can make enough money that I don't need your child support, and he will never know this because we've also agreed, not to go back to the lawyers every year and update the financial shit to figure it out. Like, I don't need to do that. I don't give a shit what you make. I can go look online because he makes enough money that in Canada, it's posted online.
Really?
He's a government employee. So, like, all I have to do is go look online and I can see what you made last year. He knows that. I don't need to go back and forth for it. Like, this is what we've agreed to. And I've decided, as soon as I'm making enough money in my business, I don't need child support. I'm going to bank that money for my kids. I've been taking him for everything. He'd be living in a basement apartment, barely able to afford groceries.
Listen.
Like, that's how our system works. And that's what I could have done. But I have a heart. Like, I'm choosing to leave. You got to live too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I could have been a fucking bitch. And
I said I could have definitely tried to fight for more.
Have problems. There you go. There are some of us out there. Don't fucking gouge you for everything you've got because I don't want that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when my ex left, I made so many promises that I was like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure. Like, I didn't even file for child support for some months because I was like, I want you to get on your feet. Yeah. You've got to get used to handling everything on your own now. You don't have me to handle bills and manage this and. Like, you need dishes, you need pots, you need to cook, you need this. And when the kids come over, they got to be comfortable. You need couches, you need a bed, I didn't want the shit because I said, when I move, I'm getting brand new every fucking thing. So many men, y'all see us and like, oh, they're just trying to get half of everything. She's trying to milk me for this. I mean, I have the worst trolls on some of my content. Like, you probably went and hired these expensive ass attorneys and you're paying for their beach houses. And I'm like, actually, I filed my divorce on my own. My divorce was free as hell.
So we are still technically, we're legally separated. We're not divorced yet.
Okay.
You got to be legally separated a year before you can go file for divorce. Mm-hmm. And it's just more fucking money. So I'm like, well, I'm like this. Like, I don't ever plan on getting remarried. So as long as he's in the same boat, but if he does, like, you can fucking pay for it. Like, I'm not going to pay for this shit again. We already paid. It took 9 months to get our separation.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, because of the lawyers.
What's the process like up there?
The lawyers are just stupid. Every little thing. Oh, that word needs changing. Oh, that needs changing. Like, shut up. And just half of our separation agreement isn't even how things are right now because we got fucking set up. Like, we are good with how things are. Why is this taking so long on your end?
That's crazy.
But I walked away with a 14-year-old couch, one TV, and my stuff. And, kids things. But other than that, I had to furnish the kids' bedrooms. Last year, I went out and bought a new couch because I'm like, you know what? It's time for a new couch. I bought a new TV. All of the plates, the dishes, cutlery, all of these things. I went to eat one night when I first moved out. I'm like, I don't even own fucking cutlery. I have to go, you know what I mean? For everything, I will go get my new stuff. I didn't want to bring the energy of that stuff with me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about so many things. Like, take it all. So I'm here like in the guest room in my parents' house and I'm just like, you know what? It is all good because the first night I moved out and slept in this place, I think that was the first night I fucking months that I got a full 8 hours of sleep. You can't even put a price on peace, right?
So, we're talking about the economy and whatnot, and I was asked if I would go back. My ex makes good money. There's no denying that. He makes a lot of fucking money. And they're like, would you go back just for the bills? I'm like, no. I'd rather be fucking poor and have nothing than go back to that traumatic experience. Like the trauma that was associated with that relationship, I don't need that shit anymore.
Hell no.
I have got my confidence back. I found my voice again. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. Like inside of that relationship, I actually quit drinking because if I would drink, my lips wouldn't stay shut and fights would start because I couldn't put up with shit, right?
Yep.
Now I'm like, that would be such a bad. And like, I'm short. I'm 5'2".
Okay.
And Max is 6'3". I would go toe to toe with him. You want to fucking yell in my face? Let's do it. And I would not back down. And now it's even like I've got that extra sense of confidence now. I'm like, I know who the fuck I am. I know what I bring to the fucking table, and fuck you if you're not going to accept it. Like,
I'm with that.
I'm not going to put up with the disrespect. I'm not going to put up with bullshit. So no, I would never. I couldn't even consider it.
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's anything in hell. I mean, even somebody like the Powerball was like $1 billion a few weeks ago, and somebody was like, "What if he won? What did you want to go?" I don't give a fuck if he won $1 trillion. I don't give there's absolutely nothing that would make me ever want to go through that situation again. So even now with dating, I'm sure you're probably a little bit more guarded and like I'm not tolerating nothing from anybody.
Red flags now.
Tell me, what are some of your deal breakers when you're dealing, like when you're meeting someone new and you're just like, oh no, I can't do it.
Fucking way.
Say that again.
If they chew the wrong way, I'm like, oh no, I can't deal with that. Or, they talk the wrong way. Oh my God, some of the disastrous dates that I've been on, thank God they've only been one. I had one guy, we hung out one night, we went out, and it was only a couple hours, right? And then the next day I'm deleting all my dating apps. I'm like, what?
Don't do that for me, sir.
Yeah. And then he kept going on. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, no. I went on my very first date. So guys, guys think girls catfish. Oh my God, does it not go both ways? At my very first date, guy did not look like his pictures. So I was like, what the actual fuck?
Was he like completely different, or just like he gained a lot of weight, or he just was not?
Happened too.
Yeah, me too.
Pictures, I'm like, okay, you're pretty good looking. I get there and he's like, yeah, I put on some weight. No fucking shit.
100 pounds, sir. That's a lot of weight. That man was wide as the damn door frame.
Maybe you should put new pictures on, because I think before this ever happens again, we need to see new, it is scary that guys actually do that.
I've come across men who lie about their age, which I think is so, what the fuck are you lying about your age for? I had one guy who I was dealing with, he sent me a fake dick picture. And I'm like, so did you like Google this pic? Like, where'd you get this picture? Or maybe you just didn't expect it to get here where I would see it in person. Oh my God, I packed up, got the fuck out of there so fast. Just so many weird situations. But I had a guy who, I remember kissing him and our teeth kept bumping. And I'm like, this is terrible.
Oh man.
You're like, I can't do this. No, never mind.
I went out on a date with a guy. I actually met him for coffee one night. I'm like, okay, we'll go meet for coffee.
Okay.
We ended up sitting there for like 4 hours, killed my car battery.
Oh, God.
We drove back to his house to get cables to start my car. And this is the best part. Get back finally to my car. I go to try and start my car. He's getting the cable set up. My car starts. Like I did say, if we sat here for a little bit longer, we'd be good to go. But, then we hung out the next night too. And then fucking nothing. Like, what is the ghosting you?
Wow. Yeah. I had one guy.
And like I see all these things. I actually met one guy on a dating site. He's like 10 years younger than me. So I'm like, no, this isn't. But we were like, well, I'm not going to say we were friends, but we were comparing fucking dating stories and like screenshotting the horrors. Because I'm like, is it? He's like, it's the same on my end. And we're screenshotting and sharing the horrors of fucking online dating. I'm like, oh my God. Because girls, we're apparently just as bad. Not all of us, because I'm not like that. But girls are just as bad and, only wanting sex. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm blown away by some of the things I'm seeing or hearing out here. How many men think that there was just one guy, I remember he took me to, I say, a $14 little taco dinner, and he just thought, so you come back, we're about to fuck, right? And I'm like,
no.
For these $14 tacos, that's all you thought you had to do, and I'm just gonna come give you some ass. I had one guy, I went on a fantastic date with him. Met him out one night at a work event, and we went to the same college. It was like, oh, this is cool, you know. He drove a really nice car, and we went and met at like a hookah lounge the next night, and we had some drinks, and he's like, let's go. I'm like, I haven't eaten in a while, let's go get some food. He's like, all right, let's go to this diner. It's a like diner here in Charlotte. They like have DJs and stuff. It's really nice. I've just never been there. I got in his car, we are driving through downtown Charlotte, and there's a really big high-rise apartment building. He's like, oh, I live there on the 33rd floor. So he's super hyped to show me. He's been like, okay, well, that's nice, good for you. And we have burgers at the diner, soda.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's getting late. I've got to get my kids to their games in the morning. Oh, you're not about to come back with me? I thought I was about to go back to the crib. No, I could see the rage in him. He was so angry, and now I'm nervous because I'm in his car. And I'm like, oh my God. He was like grabbing me, trying to kiss me. And I'm like, you're doing a lot. Like, drop me back to my car, because I left my car at the hookah spot.
Yeah.
Take me back to my car. We're not doing this. He dropped me at the car and damn near hardly let me get out the car and close the fucking door all the way before he went peeling out. I don't know if there's so many women out here who are just giving pussy away for nothing, that they think everybody is supposed to just, you're supposed to go jump on it. It's like, no.
It is scary.
It is. And as I'm learning, it doesn't matter the race. It don't matter the country. Clearly it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know when the hell shit got like this, but you know, I'm damn near 20 years removed from dating, so I didn't know this is what the fuck I was gonna encounter coming back out here in these streets.
I know, I feel fucking old. I'm learning that I don't want to have a million different apps. I want to have one app.
Yeah.
And finally, at least hold a fucking conversation, because apparently, when I'm 37 years old and no one else can hold a fucking conversation for more than messages, like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I'm going to just keep my circle of friends. We love going out together. We love having our little sleepovers. We get together, have some food and drinks, and we crash on each other's couches. And it's just, I told them I'm prepared to die old with you bitches, because
I love that. See, I was isolated from all my friends. He tried to isolate me from my family. So now, like, I have 3 best friends. They don't live anywhere with me. So many friends here where I live. I will full out admit that I don't have people here.
Yeah.
But I've started going to yoga again, you know, getting out there, starting to meet people and just, you know, build those relationships, because
it's important.
You've got to have those people. My people, my support system were women I met through my business.
Okay.
And they have helped me get through all of this shit. One of my closest friends lives in Spain. I've never met her in person. We talk every single day.
I love that. You know, and that's, I mean, I love those genuine connections, and I'm meeting so many people even through the show and touch through texts and DMs and stuff. I'm like, you know what? We grow up thinking the goal is marriage. The goal is the family, the kids. We grow old together. And that's just not the reality for everybody. And that's okay. So even now I tell my daughter, you know, I don't want you growing up and thinking, as soon as I get to college, I have to find my husband. Like I was thinking, because that's kind of how I was brought up. Like, you know, you find a husband young and you want to grow with them and have these kids young. And no, I wouldn't. Like, if I could do some things different, Lord of mercy. But I don't want to put that on her and put those kind of pressures on her. And then she's forcing herself into a situation that's just not healthy. Yeah. You know, so.
For me, from the out, like when we were together, from the outside looking in, we looked like the perfect family.
Oh, yeah. Social media. Beautiful pictures, right?
Well, you just even, you know, meeting people, going out and doing things. We were the perfect family from the outside looking in. We had, he had the job. I got to stay home and raise my kids. We had brand new vehicles, the $1 million home, like you name it, we had it. Yeah. And I was fucking miserable. So, you know, for anyone that this podcast reaches, like I had it and I left it. And if you're not happy and you know that there's someone there, fucking do what you got to do, because one, this is your life. You don't get another one.
Oh, yes.
You have kids. I don't want my boys thinking that that's acceptable way to treat women. I don't want my daughter thinking that's an acceptable way to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Absolutely.
so many pieces there. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. If you're not happy, you're not happy.
No, you're not. It's nothing worse than faking it, like having to fake it
Right?
for the world. And, I think I know for me in my situation, we use social media to kind of just like put on that mask a little bit more for everyone. Like, I know we're not this happy little loving family. We smiled for these 3 seconds for this photo, but you didn't see me wiping the tears off my face before we got in position and posed. You didn't see the argument we had, and he slept on the couch for 3 nights after this. But we've got these captions. No, we get the 150 likes, and everyone, you guys are life goals. Oh, we love y'all. Oh, I wish I could have my. No, you don't want this shit.
No.
You
My
don't.
smile in my pictures was so fake, and now like I'm laughing and my nose is crunching up, and I'm like, I fucking hate how that looks, but like that's me. I'm happy, and I
Yep.
get to show this side of me where it's a genuine happiness and a genuine peace, and it is so much better, regardless of how ugly it looks, than the fake smiles in the pictures.
Mm.
You can't fake peace.
No, you cannot, and that I think is a beautiful part of all of this. Like it just all comes full circle almost, where it's like you go through the pain, you go through the heartbreak, you go through the healing, and then in the end, it's like, oh, I'm a whole nother person because of this. I'm a completely different person, and now I can go out here and help other people and share my story and give some encouragement and help uplift somebody, because you can't do that when you're fucked up. When you're in such a negative space and you're down, you're depressed, you're stressed. Like I couldn't even compliment people. I couldn't receive a compliment. I could not give a compliment. I had so few positive things to say. I was just so
I had
miserable.
really hard time still receiving compliments,
Yeah.
and my brain is still. I try and remember to give compliments, but I don't remember
So,
because it was
yeah.
still so ingrained and like just keep your fucking mouth shut all the time, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
all
Yep.
of the time. So it's so hard. Getting a compliment is. I've tried to open up to it because that's a part of like receiving energetically, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can't even receive a compliment, well, how are you supposed to receive other things in life? And I'm like, holy
Yep.
shit. So now I'm like, if someone gives me a compliment, I'm like, thank you. I'm appreciative, and I'm trying to learn how to receive that compliment. It's fucking my body.
I
But
know.
the trauma and the toxicity fucks you up on such a deeper level that
Yeah.
so many people don't realize because they don't see all of the shit that we went through. They don't see it. So they're like, well, it can't be that bad. But I'm 2 years out and I started into my yoga practice again. And 2 weeks ago, I had a fucking panic attack on the mat in my practice.
Oh,
Because that shit, it's so deep in your cells, right? Like
it
it's
is.
trauma on a cellular level. And now I'm moving through it. So I'm like, I knew what was happening. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can breathe. Like I'm safe. I'm in a yoga studio. But it was just
Yeah.
able to allow it to come up and come through and not make it mean anything about myself. Everyone else. I was reading something yesterday on the mat because I've started making sure I go 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
And like it's become a major part of my healing process now, like to continuing to heal and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started crying. Class hadn't even started yet, and I'm crying just
Mm-hmm.
something like there's just so many pieces and emotions that still get to come through, and we're human. We
Yeah.
get to have those experiences,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just such a beautiful thing when you get to do all of these things and you get to
Yeah.
go through that healing and you get to become this person who is we're always growing and evolving.
Always. And that's awesome. Like, I think it's dope when we can be in that space where it's like, okay, I can still learn. Even at this big age, there's still so much that I can learn. And something I had to kind of coach myself into is taking a moment to feel what I'm feeling. I
Yeah.
feel like you go so many years, right, where it's like you got to suppress it, you've got to hide it, you can't let anyone see. If you're having a moment where you just need to cry, fucking cry, let it out. You know what I mean? You're having a moment where you're consumed with worry, like get the worries out and try to focus and shift that energy to something else. Like, even trying to channel what I'm watching, channel what I'm reading, channel some of the music and things I'm listening to, like really try to make it things that are positive, things that will help me feel more productive, things that will brighten my energy and my mood.
To be honest, it's a magical experience because you get to move through so many emotions and you get to process so many things that, you know, inside of that toxicity you weren't allowed to process. So you cry, you're fucking weak. Like, why are you crying? You're emotional, you're a mess, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to hear that shit. Now, I sat down a month ago, so my dog is diabetic and wouldn't eat. And I was like, okay, like if you don't eat, I can't give you your it. She gets insulin twice a day with her food.
Okay.
Sat down on the ground and I started bawling, and that had been building up inside of me, I just let out. And I'm sitting there and she's sitting beside me. I'm like, will you just eat your fucking food already? She didn't eat. Turns out she's very picky now. I've got her eating again, but it just all came out. And I'm like, okay, I'm sitting on my kitchen floor. I'm a bawling mess. Like my eyes are swollen at this point. My nose is running everywhere. And I'm just sitting on the floor. Like, I'm a strong fucking woman. It's time to remember who the fuck I am, get up off this cold floor and keep going. And that's the thing. Like toxic relationships, narcissists specifically, they target strong women because they're who wants to break us down, right? So it's coming back to remembering who the fuck you are. And we cry, we have our moment, we ugly cry, but then we get up, we remember who the fuck we are, and we keep going.
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing some of this with me, Trish. This is really very good. You know, it's just sometimes you kind of have these conversations and you're just kind of reminded again, like, you know what we're going through is okay. You got to release the shame and the embarrassment and the humiliation and all the, you know, like I said, those ill feelings, but coming out on the other side of it is awesome. And I love connecting with people and hearing more stories and seeing that you're in a better place and you're thriving and you're helping people. And this is what we need more of out here. You know, this is the Hoe-busters Podcast. And so I always try to end this on an interesting note where I ask the question, tell me about a time where you had to be a hoe-buster.
I don't know. One thing I can honestly say is I never caught my ex cheating. I caught him into drugs, which was not a fun one to catch him into.
Wow, that would be a different angle. I don't think we've heard a story like that before.
Oh yeah, so he never cheated on me, so he says. I don't have proof if he did. Do I think he did? Of course I do. But I did catch him. Don't fucking lie to me because I already know the truth before I ask you about it, right?
Right.
And I already knew the truth. I'd already pieced enough pieces together that when he lied to me, I'm like, you're fucking lying.
Yeah.
I picked you up on the side of the road from a dirty part of a town. Like, I had to drive a half hour at 8:00 in the morning with my 3 kids to go pick him up from the side of the road. Yeah. And he turned it around on me. Once I pieced it together, like right down to the bank withdrawal of the money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I put it all together and I called him out on it and he told me I was lying. Then he told me some lie and then I told him, don't fucking lie to me. Then he tells me the truth. And then he turns it around on me like it's my fault and I shouldn't be mad.
Yep, of course.
I'm sorry, what? Like
that was always the worst.
I stayed. Like a fool, I stayed. Now that I look back, again, now that I'm out and I'm in this state, I look back and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? But, you know, we live and learn and we get to move on, right?
We do. From that particular situation, what did you take away from that?
That he has no problem fucking lying to me. And if he's going to lie to me about that when I'm presenting all of the facts, because I go with facts. Right? What else has he lied about? And then, you know, leave that doubt. What else has he lied about?
Yep. And then you're just going down the rabbit holes of, oh my God, was this true? Was this true? Was that true? What about this? Was he really here? Was he really doing this? Like, and it's just so overwhelming and it's so tiring. I say most of the time after these stories, it's like, you know what? I just learned to trust my intuition. We like have a way of almost gaslighting ourselves and trying to believe that they're not capable of doing that. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take it this far.
You, right? Like you're always the problem. If you look into something too much, it's you're being suspicious. And then it's I don't trust you. You're cheating on me. I'm like, what? I'm fucking home with 3 kids all the time. How am I cheating on you? When I have time cheat on you, because if I even want to go shopping to Winners, I get a guilt trip laid on me for wanting to go out. So when do I have time to do that?
Isn't that crazy?
It got to the point that when we moved out this way, on his days off, if I wanted to go out, he'd come with me.
Oh my God.
And then it's because I'm like, well, I don't want to be rushed in like 5 minutes. It's Winners. I could sit in there for 2 hours if I wanted to, going through everything, right? It would, well, hurry up, let's go. I want to get home. Like, but I came out to have a break.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, you start to question so many things. Now I get to go to Winners whenever I want.
I can understand. Look, I'm trying to think if I had any favorite places to go to. It'd probably be somewhere to go eat. That's kind of what I would do. Like, I just want to get away and go and have a fucking meal without these kids, have somebody wait on me for once. So I was good at going to like Olive Garden or Longhorn Steakhouse or something like that, just to have time away and have a drink or something. But yeah, I'm not a big shopper. But I love to freaking eat.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'd buy stuff all the time. It's just that getting out, right? Like just being able to have that space away from the kids where your brain to actually think about something other than what the child is telling you 24/7. Even now, mom, like, you are old enough to do this on your own. You need to do this.
Yeah.
8 years old, 11 years old, at 15 years old, my oldest, will you make my lunch for me? This morning we get in the car and I hand him a granola bar. So he's like, I already grabbed snacks. I'm like, good. Like,
look, I'll be glad when mine get to that point, because even at 13, it's still having to help make the beds and help pack the lunches, and here's some money for this and here. It's like, oh my gosh. But I'm trying to give him some grace. I'm trying to give myself some grace through this process. Like I said, we're just going to keep on loving each other and, just trying to adjust, because, it's only been about 17 months for us. So it's all still very new. We're just going to continue going through different changes as they're growing a little older and learning their responsibilities and, adjusting to the shit they've got to deal with their dad and his new lifestyle now. And like I said, I'll be glad when he finds a woman who can tolerate him long enough to want to deal with him.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he's just running through these hoes. And I'm like, yeah, you thought it was going to be easy to just go out here and find a new me. I realized she's going to be someone whose self-esteem and confidence was even lower than mine was. Because that's always the mission, like to find somebody there and take it down even worse.
This was amazing.
This was so fun. I just enjoyed this. Look, me and you, we're gonna be chatting it up some more. I can just tell. Well, y'all, there it is. Another wonderful episode wrapped up. And special thanks to my new friend, Trish Lynn, for coming on today's episode and having a wonderful conversation with me. Thanks so much to you all out there for tuning in and watching or listening. Please make sure to take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the podcast on any of the major platforms, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of them, all right? And please drop us a comment. Let us know how you like this episode. And if you have any questions for me or for my special guest, I'll make sure to tag her social media contact information so you can check her out. Make sure you follow her along. And if you happen to be in the Charlotte, North Carolina area and want to join me remotely for another episode, or if you want to join me in our local studio, reach out to me via the website www.hoe-busters.com and click on the link to apply on the main page. And I promise I'll get back to you, all right? So until next time, peace.